What if you could take any random sample, turn it into a resonating string-like instrument? There's one simple sound design trick, and it's going to give us a world of possibilities in this video. This is comb filtering, and it's one of the easiest ways to make your musical ideas sound unique, organic, perfectly unpredictable, but inspiring. Let's get into it. Okay, so I've got right here is a vinyl crackle sound effect. And this is kind of just simple kind of clicks and pops, just little transients that are kind of scattered throughout it. And what we're going to do is go and grab the comb filter. So if you go to audio effects and auto filter, as long as you're on Ableton 12.2 or later, you should have this. So I'll pull up the auto filter and I'll go to this drop down menu here. You can see all these different things, a lot of new ones added with 12.2, and one of them is comb. So the comb filter, if I move the frequency down, you can see it's got all of these notches. Kind of looks like a comb, right? So what this does is it creates resonance on really anything you put in front of it. It's pretty simple. You see here it says res for resonance. We're just going to turn that all the way up. It'll shift the graphic. You can see it shifts like that, right? And I'm going to type in 261, which is a standard frequency for the note C. So now we'll give this a play. Turn the drive up. And now you can hear that crackle has resonance on it. It's a pretty cool effect. Standard frequencies are great. You might want to memorize what C is. So 261 for C. A lot of people have heard of A being 440. The Patreon has if you're watching this on Patreon, there's a few reference charts down below. One of them is a standard frequencies list. If you need a quick reference guide, if you want to leave that on your desktop as a quick reference, you've got that. C is great though, because if you do resonate things to C, let's say you wanted to resample this into your keyboard or put in a sampler, because it's a C note, it'll map to the keys on your keyboard how you'd expect, right? So you actually know what you're playing if you resampled this into something. You can also play around with the tuner. So if I type in tuner, drag and drop this over, it's going to read the signal coming out of the comb filter. Actually a little bit flat, so maybe I'll go for 261.5. Yeah, so now we're right on C. So you can play around with this. You can move the frequency around and find different notes, higher or lower. You know, just play with it, do your own thing. Obviously, some samples are going to have noise floors. We might want to create more distance in those transients so it's less noisy. We want to kind of clean it up a little bit, I guess you could say. And a gate really comes in handy for that. So if I add this gate here, things get more choppy, which is going to come in handy later on as we start to build out more sound design from this idea. Really cool things you can do with this now. And by the way, I should mention that the chain that we're building in this video together, it is available in the link in the description below if you're a Patreon member. Patreon is a great way to support the channel. You get access to years of downloads, and it's a massive library of exclusive tutorials, lots of stuff, great community, really talented people there. And there's a lot of videos there, music theory, a whole vocal production course, sound design stuff, compression, mastering, a lot of stuff. So feel free to check it out. And as always, a special thank you to our amazing Patreons on this channel. You guys are the reason this content exists. Thank you so much. So now we've got something kind of shopping along there. We can add even more resonance to this thing with the resonator. So the resonator comes with Ableton Standard, and I'm just going to add this over, and you can do a world of possibilities with this thing. It's amazing. Let's say I have C. I can keep my C and I can go -24, which is 2 octaves down. -12 is an octave down. I can go an octave up and 2 octaves up. And now I have a whole lot of C. So it's adding more resonance to that one note that we're creating. You have a dry wet here. You have gain. So you can obviously play around with those balances, but you can also adjust these to build chords. So now you can resonate multiple different notes. For instance, this resonator right here is set up to a completely different chord. So I'm not even paying attention to C anymore. I have everything pitched up to D sharp or E flat. And this is sort of like an E flat minor 7 chord. And so now I have this polyphonic sound from vinyl crackle. It's amazing. So now we have things resonating in our ears. And what's really cool about this is let's go back to the auto filter. And you can see right here we have the envelope. Now, if you push this up, it's sort of affecting the sound. It starts to sound almost kind of string-like or harp-like. If you push it all the way down, you can get a really interesting kind of harp type sound. The morph you can turn up too. A lot of times I find this has sort of an octave down effect, which is very cool. Now there's a wonderful unpredictableness to this sound because it is, like a Foley sound effect. These things are popping along independent of the grid. But a way you can kind of tie it together and make it more musical is with just some delay and some reverb. So right here, I'm going to add on a delay. It's in ping pong mode, which makes it very stereo. It's serial or series, so I have it in a dry wet. And that's going to kind of push it around and sort of syncopate it more to the grid, even though those transients are hitting in random organic way. It's going to add more syncopation to my BPM. And the reverb, which I'll run in parallel, can add a lot of nice dimension, but it's not in series, it's in parallel. So that way I can keep those transients dry as well so you can hear them a little better. And here you can see I have an even more sparse sounding vinyl crackle sample. Very light, you can probably barely hear it right now. Turn it up a little bit. But there's not a lot going on with these clicks and pops. But I've taken a few of them here, and when you hold down Control and move some of these warp markers, you can just move certain transients into the grid kind of strategically. That really helps. But you'll notice that when I play this with the chain, we get a nice sparse sound with this effect. It's right there. And if I keep this effect on a group chain, I can add other sound effects to stack onto it, other Foley effects. Here's a different sample. So you're getting all this Foley syncopation. Here they are together. Really cool. That delay is adding lots of syncopation. It's very musical, but a lot of it is still off of the grid. A lot of it is not really locked into the grid, so it creates an organicness to it, which is really cool. And then we can layer on other things, like here we have a beat. And because this is a chord, like an E flat minor 7 chord, we can then add on our own instrumentation. I really like that sort of chiasmos style where they add on piano to some of these things. And so here's a little extra music we're adding into it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on Patreon right now, you're going to see a standard frequencies chart down below. And there's also a semitone construction chart. So if you like to have like a little reference JPEG on your desktop, you can find it there. Everything on there is based around C. So you can follow that chart to really any other note, just add or subtract up to 11. And you can work this technique into whatever key signature you want to do. And I've also included a sample folder with my own samples built from this technique and lots of other unique stuff in there. There's granular reverb guitar sounds, ambient kind of pedal steel stuff, unique transients. Everything is in loop format, but not all of it is totally locked to BPM, so we can go for this kind of more organic feeling thing. And got a little more of an organic vibe, a little bit of Fortet inspiration there maybe on this one. So this stuff can work really well on whatever genre you want to do. Whatever you want to do, just go for it. I'll see you all later. Have fun making music.